Good morning. This is Reverend Pam Geagan from the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley in Camarillo, California, wishing you a wonderful Tuesday morning. And so if you're here, it's because you're here for meditation, and our meditation is centered on visioning this week. And so I just want us to begin by connecting with Source. And so place your hand on your heart. It raises all those good connecting hormones, mainly oxytocin, the same hormone that surges through a mother's body when a baby is born to make sure that the baby and the mother connect. So with hand on heart, breathing in and just visioning all of this wonderful light coming down from the highest and high into the deepest of deep of who you are. Bringing it down, love and law working together, mind and heart working together, because love always points the way, and law, the thing itself, the only thing there is, I call God, absolutely surging in and through and as us to the degree that we wish for it to express through us, is absolutely there connecting us to the allness of everything, to the allness. And in the allness there is the everythingness and the nothingness, which is eternality, immortality. So breathing in with God is on the in-breath, I am on the out-breath. And then two more, silently. And in this process, as we let go and let God, for visioning, which is unfolding already all around us, and discovering who we are. The Dalai Lama centuries ago also wrote, "Who am I?" With a further question, who is it that asks the questions? The source of the questions, who am I, is better for its own answer. So many of us are always being called to a greater expression many times during our lifetime. And if we refuse to answer that call, then what occurs is we stagnate. When we answer the call, we go on an adventure. And so the ultimate penultimate point of every person's life is when awakening occurs. And what happens when awakening occurs is there's something that wakes us up and makes us realize there's more going on than what meets the eye. When we wake up, and no matter what it is or how it is that resonates, where you get that moment that the mystics have, that nanosecond of knowing that you are one with everything. That everything in the universe resides in every grain of sand, in heaven in a wildflower. There is no time and space. Time is eternal. And it's the soul's recognition that we are in this oneness. And without even knowing that in that moment you're being called, you become the unconscious co-creator that opens up to the consciousness of a new life, a whole new destiny and purpose. And in this time, obviously, that is moving so rapidly and unfolding in such a greater way, God's desire in and through and as you, and for the expression of it in your life, is to give you all the good you can imagine. Your passion and desire for a better life is God's in you, awakening you up to what's possible for you. And so our goal in its ultimate purity is finding the capacity we had not expressed before to express the unique gift we come in with, that unique fingerprint of God. For as I say over and over again, there is no one just like you, no fingerprints just like yours, including if you're a twin, a quadruplet, whatever it is, you have your own unique fingerprint. Every shell, different print. Every grain of sand, different makeup. Every ocean, every drop in the ocean, of which we are the ocean in a drop, totally, completely different than all the others. So when we find that life shows up, the Wizard of Oz, our wisdom and love in our lives is so enriched. For we see and become the world around us, and for the world around us we make new and wonderful new discoveries, and the world is better for us and with us, and our expression of God itself in all life. And sometimes there's times I feel so aligned and I'm on the path, and other times I am totally stagnant. The times when I've lived in alignment is that calling, that feeling, that passion. There's an essence of the divine fueling each step. Each step I take, each word I speak, for there is a sacred connection with all other people. And when I'm out of alignment, I'm tired. I feel exhausted. And I know there's something more I can give and share. And it's me, I'm aware, that creates barriers within, the internal obstacles that prevent me from living in a way that I believe matches my highest calling. And when this happens, I'm frustrated. I begin to procrastinate, question my gifts. Are they even worthy of being shared? And of course, the more we question, the more negative things we bring up in our lives, the more anchors we create, and all the negative mental obstacles that keep us ground, like Groundhog Day, where we see things over and over again, the same experience and the same motion, keeps us anchored. Yet, in times of sacred alignment, all those things in sacred misalignment, because they're all sacred, because your life is unfolding perfectly, as our wonderful Reverend Betty Ann says, no matter what. In sacred misalignment, those are the times something revolutionary is also happening. It's when our soul keeps calling us. And yet, in times of great alignment with the divine, even when we feel lost, there is something that remains the principle or fundamental truth of who and what, as I stay in the I am, personalize these words, I am. It is that soul that calls. So, I'm going to tell you a story about Kenny Loggins. I heard him in an interview. Kenny Loggins, the one that wrote Celebrate Me Home and House at Pooh Corner, and so many other great hits. Started off with Jim Messina in the 60s and 70s. And his parents at 17 had great plans for him to go to school. And yet his passion was music. He knew that if he followed the voice inside, and if the words that kept coming to him and the melodies kept coming to him, and he put them out into the universe, his passion would be fulfilled in those moments. And to this day, in his 70s, he is still creating music and becoming more and more. The music is absolutely becoming more and more into that realm of the oneness that expresses the everythingness in and through and as him. So turning his back from a family that wanted tradition, he listened to his soul calling and has created so many wonderful moments of inspiration through his music and through his beingness and through his children and his whole relationships with all of life. He is forever constantly working on protecting the planet and bringing it back into its integrity as well. So let us go right now and let us close with a treatment, an affirmative treatment. As we feel the energy coming down from the top all the way down through the crown chakra, relaxing us in, relaxing our jaw, our throat, our shoulders, letting the shoulders just drop, letting the head just drop, just relaxing in wherever you are, feeling that energy surge down the neck, down the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, out the hands, and just feel the hands tingling. And then feeling that energy that remains in all the body parts mentioned, but coming right back up, back to the neck, down to the middle back, down to the heart chakra in the front, down through the spine, just relaxing, relaxing. Down through the solar plexus, from the heart chakra to the solar plexus, from the spine, down to the sacral chakra, and down the sacral chakra, absolutely, right between our legs to the root chakra, and below, spine, and all of this working beautifully together. And now relaxing the hips, and the thighs, and the knees, and the calves, and going out the ankles and down the feet, and grounding us into that sacred ground that just says yes. And then feel that energy as we breathe again. Knowing that in this moment, in this perspective, in this wonderful relaxing time, there's no time when the divine is closer to me than others, closer to me than my hands and my feet and the very breath I breathe. For I am never separate from Source. So as we breathe it up and all that energy coming right back up, shooting all around us, protecting us, a golden light all around us, in and through us, grounded in that earth, in this third dimensional body, and yet expressing in all of the dimensions, the physical, the metaphysical, and beyond, into the oneness. And as I stay in the I am, please personalize these words as we continue to plant the seeds for visioning and rebirthing in this time that's calling to us to recreate and create and rebirth. And knowing that I am never separate from the source of my being. I understand this. I am walking with the divine and being brought to life by its essence. I am always, even during the challenges, for the challenges in those times awaken me to an even deeper part of myself, such as COVID did, isolation did, whatever challenges, whatever losses experienced. It's calling me to create that life that knows that my life is unfolding perfectly no matter what. That even when I feel that I am not walking the path of highest calling for me, I know that the external effects might be calling me to deepen. So I ask this question: what is my highest calling beyond all external effects? I ask the more thoughtful question that opens the doorway for greater reflection of me to see how I might have misinterpreted what the soul's calling is. For me. And maybe it isn't about doing anything or something specific. Maybe it's a way of being which is the very fabric of the web of my life, of all life, of who I am. That is my soul's calling. And I allow myself to live in this heart of divine love. I let that love that vibrates and resonates with the harmonious vibration of all the universes, filling each cell of my mind and my body and my soul and my heart. All of that energy is mine and my experience. And I allow the divine to speak in and through and as me. I take it in right now, a moment, with the body vibrating, breathing it in, feeling its presence. For it is the voice of God that is my voice as well, reminding me that my will is to love, not to hate, to be adventuresome, not to fear, not to be a slave to death, but an expanding, no matter what my age and stage of life is, an expanding creation that is boundless. For my will is not bound, for what lies within me is joined with God in all creations of this birthing process. For I have been created in that divine perfect patterning, and my free will is here for me to embrace and express my highest divinity. So I am grateful for my unique fingerprint of the divine, born in and through and as me, so that I may express more of God's divinity, so it may know itself, so God could know itself by means of me and all. The light of heaven shines in and through and as me, for it was set in heaven, and so am I. So I just take a moment of quiet here and breathe all that in, all those words in. naming and claiming them, letting them set in my heart and my mind and my soul. As today I ask, who am I and what is mine to do? And today, I am so grateful in seeing with new eyes. I see the face of God facing me wherever I go. And I say namaste. Have a blessed day. I love each and every one of you. God is, I am, and so it is. And I'll see you on the flip side.